Sebastien. On behalf of Exquisite Media, it's a pleasure to be here in Nusa Penida to talk about your role as General Manager of Maua.
Selamat datang di Maua, Simon. Welcome.
Now, how did you debut in hospitality and what drove you to get into the industry?
Very good question. Actually, originally I wanted to be a lawyer or a vet, always being interested with the law in Europe and passionate with animal, having myself a few animals, include horses. However, after a few summer jobs, as we do in our early days, I find out that I like connection with people, to interact with others, and I find myself maybe that would be the hospitality to work with. One of my hobbies obviously is also traveling, and I think working in hotel industry and traveling the world would definitely suit me. So I decided to go through a career hospitality in hotel.
Now, throughout all those business relationships in all those different countries that you contributed to, who would you say is the most influential figure in your career to date?
I can't say I have one person which influenced me because over the years, over the decade of my career, I've worked with so many people, so many networks, and I had so many team members within resort and hotels. I think it's a combination of all my team members that I've worked with, as well as the different culture in Southeast Asia, but also in Europe. I think all this help actually to deliver amazing guest service and guest experience to our guests in a resort.
How have your contributions to multiple countries, namely the UK, Cambodia, and now Indonesia, changed your perspective on hospitality?
I think the biggest would be, I would say, the background of people, the culture. Obviously, managing people back in Europe and managing people here in Southeast Asia, it's a big difference indeed. And I think that's the way it contributes me to have a different approach to our hospitality here in Indonesia or even in Cambodia in the past. Yeah. So I would say much more on the culture aspect to the people. Yeah.
And what would you say is the biggest difference between the industry here in Southeast Asia and back in the UK?
What I could remember was not that long ago, it's only 2 decades ago. I would say the difference would be more on the management style. Managing people back in Europe or in the UK it's a much more straightforward management style, where I would say being too much straightforward in Asia, in Southeast Asia, could actually offend some Asian people. So I'm a bit more flexible in my management style in Indonesia, in Southeast Asia, than I used to be in Europe.
Throughout your impressive and dedicated career, is there a certain period of time where your perseverance has benefited you and your business?
Many examples. I would say if there's one word I could raise is passion. I think with all the day-to-day challenge that we have as a hotel GM or even hotel head of department, passion is the key. I think I don't call work anymore. I call more as a lifestyle. It's a daily lifestyle and not a work strength anymore. And I think by being passionate, we see the difference in people, in delivering guest experience, intimate level of service, crafted luxury. I think by doing so with passion, like I do, it's much more easier, and I don't feel the struggle, I would say, with the daily task or the daily challenge that I have. It's just becoming a lifestyle. I'm coming to work in the morning. Yes, it's work, but as I said, it's a lifestyle. So it's all being passionate about work, and we don't feel the struggle anymore.
Yeah, and nobody likes working under a passionate GM more than the employees of the hotel. How did the opportunity to manage them here at Maua of Nusa Penida come about?
Actually, during the COVID time, I was in France, where I was actually myself investing into some property that I've purchased, and I came across to some French people, which actually become the owner of this lovely resort, Maua Nusa Penida. We had some long discussion. They talk about their vision, strategy about this resort, which was at the time not open yet, and they knew that I was working in the past in Bali, place that I call home actually, and they've asked me, would you be willing to come back to the island of God? And I said yes, of course, and I came back here to work with them, with this group of French people which are the owner of this resort, as well as the corporate, to help them to open this resort now 2 years ago.
And what are your responsibilities here at Maua Nusa Penida?
My responsibility as a general manager in Maua Nusa Penida is obviously to oversee the resort operation on a day-to-day basis. On a different aspect, obviously a reporting line to the shareholder and corporate, but that's more on the financial aspect. To be very close to the team, I think that's part of my DNA. I need to be close to my team, part also to the guests, to see on a day-to-day the guest expectation, how the guests feel about our resort, what are their expectations, and to work with my team in terms of training and so on to improve actually the guest expectation. Also the sustainability, being on a remote island, sustainability is a key nowadays. So that's what I do on a day-to-day basis with the team.
What are the circumstances of managing a resort on a smaller island like Nusa Penida compared to a bigger island like Bali or mainland like in Cambodia?
Actually, working on a remote island has its own challenge. I would say the first one will come to my mind will be the logistic. The logistic can be a big challenge very often actually, especially with the boat and the connection. But outside this will be everything related to nowadays what we call the sustainability, the everything green, the environment. I think being on a remote island we have to be much more cautious on every little touch, everything we do. This can definitely also be part on the guest experience. Maua actually is thinking now of maybe building a bottling plant. Maua, as you might know, have issue of water, so I'm certainly considering a bottling plant on the resort. We also have a garden when we are trying to grow as much as possible our own organic garden to be catered for the guests. And soon we will also have our own eggs from our own Maua chicken, which I hope in the next few months we'll be able to deliver the first eggs for our guests. So that's the challenge that we have on the remote island. We have to work with the team very closely to make sure that everything is running smoothly with the operation. But as I said, all these points actually can be linked also with the guest by doing some guest experience with all the sustainability action that we have.
How do you manage your schedule here at Nusa Penida? Do you find yourself leaving the island very often, if at all?
I do live in Bali. I think to have a certain balance of lifestyle, I have to get out of the island. So I commute on a daily basis to come here at Maua Nusa Penida. I have to manage my schedule very carefully because of the timing of the boat, obviously, the commercial boat. However, most of my time is priorities for the resort. So I come daily on the resort to be close, not only with my team, but with the guests, and to ensure the guest expectation is there, and to see all the daily operation that I have to take care of.
What's been the biggest hurdle for you over your first couple of years here managing Maua Nusa Penida?
I think there's two subjects that I will mention. It's first to ensure that our eco-friendly goals are reached, not only from corporate but also from the owner point of view and from the local community that we have here in Penida. Every little eco-friendly action activity that we do have an impact. I do believe into it, and as I said, it can be also linked to the guests. More we go to a high-end resort, actually the guests are very willing to have a knowledge of what the property is doing in terms of eco-friendly activity. The other challenge that I had during the pre-opening of that resort, and even until today, I would say is the people, the software, meaning how to attract people from Bali to come and work in Nusa Penida. That would have been and still is my second challenge today, the recruitment.
Great. And how has Maua Nusa Penida put you in a position to succeed since your arrival?
So I've arrived in this resort in Maua Nusa Penida in November 21. We opened, myself and the team, in the resort in April 22, which is a year and a half ago now. We had the chance, I would say, that since the COVID time, Nusa Penida is booming. I think I'm using the right term, is booming. We have thousands of people coming daily, which obviously help. On the second thing I have with the team, marketing, sales team, to create a new luxury destination, which we know Nusa Penida was well known for backpacker at the time, still is, but the Maua Nusa Penida is actually trying to bring up the standard in Nusa Penida and creating a new luxury destination. It's something not easy, but also very exciting, I would say. And we have a lot of demand actually from guests from US, from Europe. We also have more and more guests actually asking us, can they come by helicopter to the resort, which actually show the demand that we have for that resort and this island on the high-end market. So the resort has been, as I said, open for a year and a half, is doing extremely well. The shareholders are very happy with the resort. I'm also very happy. The team also is very, with all the full dedication that they provide me on a daily basis. So I do hope and I believe it will carry on. Next year, Maua Nusa Penida is doing an extension of 20 rooms with a second restaurant, a wellness center, spa, yoga deck. So I think we have a lot more to offer in the next coming month and next coming years in terms of outlet also to our guests.
High-end market for a high-end property. Sebastien, thank you once again for inviting us to the beautiful Nusa Penida to talk about your contributions and everything you do for Maua.
Thank you very much.